How's my makeup?
If you put makeup on me, I'll never do this again.
Shall we hold for sound?
Hold for Jesus.
I have a lot of issues with this class.
You have a lot of issues with them? You're only supposed to come here. You're only supposed to come here to say nice things.
No.
Everything else you need to just. You.
This class is in many ways sort of like the class that established a culture at JP Catholic.
Many students in this class reflect very deeply on life, on their purpose in life, and we're willing to ask a lot of the bigger questions that for students their age they often aren't asking or aren't asking in the same way.
My first impression of this class was one of unity. It seemed like this group of freshmen, almost as if they'd known each other from day one, as if they all came here from Vermont together on the same plane.
The thing I like best about this class is the diversity. Just everybody's an individual, everybody's different. When I look at the list and I go down through it, on the one hand I look at Ivana Diaz and then I see Andrew Donahue, both D's, Diaz and Donahue. Totally diverse, very different individuals, two beautiful people, and I got through the whole list and it's just like that.
The problem with these questions is one of these people tried to kill me. And that's not a lie. Elizabeth Flood, you know who you are.
I'm gonna Jorge Ortuno. That's a Star Wars name. Is he like a Star Wars character? I think I had him as an action figure when I was 8.
Christina Dirks. Tina has been in like a lot of my classes. She's actually a really good student. She wanted me to say something mean about her. I don't know. I'll do an impression of her.
Do it.
Oh, I'm Tina Dirks. I want to understand people and make the world a better place. Is that good? I'm really good at impressions.
Luke Tedrow. Is he related to the football player? I know nothing about sports.
Danny, was she a student here, or is that a he? Sorry, don't remember that person. Did they do anything very good?
Did I mention that Elizabeth Flood tried to kill me?
Is it pronounced Najmi?
Tlaloc, is that how you say it? I can never pronounce his name.
I'm open to the idea that Dan Sheehan was once a Dolphin.
Tlaloc? I think I'm saying it right. Tlaloc. Tlaloc? Frankie. I guess.
Is it Nahmi? Is the J like a Spanish? Is it a Spanish H? Nahmi?
Devaney Cooper is the one that got a restraining order put against her from the Carmelites because she like stalks them. Is that the one? She's really like into the Carmelites. She really loves them, I think.
And when I go past Devaney, I look at Rebecca Cuevas, and nobody in the class has a passion to teach kids about Jesus compared to Rebecca.
That sounds kind of Middle Eastern, though, doesn't it? It sounds kind of Middle Eastern. Is that what's happening? That's what that is.
Sure.
Ben Wirth, super smart, going to be a guy who's going to create a business.
I think in a particular way I'd highlight Carol Harvey. I've been watching her in courses mature, come to a deeper understanding of who God is. She's had an incredible generosity of spirit to follow God wherever she thinks He might be calling her.
Probably the student that stands out the most to me is Andrew Donahue. And I don't know why. It's just the impression or the memory of him constantly missing classes last summer and getting texts and emails from him saying, hey, I'm standing outside of Legacy and I missed the shuttle bus. So I mean, literally, you know, standing out.
Okay, I would say it was Mariana Angeles. And what impressed me about her was just the sheer effort she put in to do her coursework. She lived and worked in Los Angeles, for example, and she'd have to get up at, I don't know, 3:30 in the morning in order to make my 8 o'clock class.
I think I have similar taste to Peter Snyder, actually. Maybe not with food, but with some things. I remember we were talking about stuff and he was saying, oh yeah, exactly, totally.
As I looked at the list, I came to Andy Bart and said, wow, he's absolutely the best artist which is in here.
Thomas Gould, that's a very unfortunate last name. I feel bad. I don't know who he is, but I already feel bad for him. Last name alone. Hello, my name is Gould. No.
Rossi, when I meet Haley Rossi, I want to get out of the way because she's got a sense of urgency. She wants to accomplish stuff.
From the very first day of class, I think it was, in their freshman year, Tiffany and Emily would sit together in class. And I thought it was just coincidence. And then I started seeing them walk down the hallway together, and I realized, okay, these two are kind of peas in a pod. And it's been neat to watch that friendship develop over the years. And of course, Emily went on and graduated. And now when I see Tiffany, it's almost like she's missing her other half.
Leah Murphy, you know, smart and humble. Jacob Spence, talented.
Like Madeline Perez turned 21 apparently, but I don't want to ask to see her driver's license because I'm not convinced she has one yet. Because I don't think that girl is a day over 14. Now, by contrast, Andrew Donahue looks like he's about 75 years old. And so, like, when Donahue and Dan Sheehan get together, Donahue looks older than Derry Connolly when he's standing next to Dan Sheehan, because Dan Sheehan looks about 8.
I'll tell you, I will talk. I'll tell a story from recently, from this year, about some of the senior business students that impressed me greatly. A bunch of senior business students got together and, as a project for one of Dr. Jackson's classes, did an online fundraising campaign for my wife's organization, We Can, and put a ton of creativity and energy into it. And I was really impressed, not just with their professionalism, but with the results they got.
Okay, here's a fun memory. I came up with a mental experiment with a big Carl. And I said a big Carl is not a substance the way like a tree is a substance or a human being is a substance. It's just a bunch of parts put together. There are substances in it, but it itself is not like a substantial form. And so I said we can prove that. Take one and put it in a blender and make big Carl juice, and then taste it, and it'll taste pretty much the same as a big Carl. And so I was doing just like sort of as a discussion point, and they did it. Somebody in the next class went and got a big Carl, put it in a blender, and they had to add milk to make it liquid, to actually make it like break apart, and they brought it in, and we drank it out of a straw. And
that one of my fondest memories of this group of students was being Christine Cash's godfather at her coming into the church at St. Anne's Parish.
You know, I was about halfway through the quarter, and I saw many students really come alive to the pursuit of truth in their lives, and come alive in a deeper way to wanting to apply that, just not simply because they believe it, you know, that it's not simply because they happen to be Catholics, but they want to know the truth, and they want to know the truth with their minds. And that was something where I was particularly proud of the students, that they were willing to take that next step.
And so I think I'm proudest of students who really did. You know, Kathleen Wilder, who said, you know, I'm really an editor, but I'll help produce. And Madeline Perez saying, you know, I'm more of a writer, but I'm happy to help produce. Like stuff like that. And I think there's definitely a very sort of can-do spirit.
And probably the proudest moment that I've had with this class is was that time. No, that really wasn't a proud moment.
What was I most proud of this class? I was most proud of this class when they all showed up for the first day of Fundamentals of Catholicism, because they hadn't had me since Scripture 1. At Scripture 1, I really put them through the ringer with lots of reading exams and study questions, and then they all came back for more. And I thought, they're amazing. They want more reading, they want more homework, they want more tests. This is truly inspiring. I would say that's what makes me most proud about this class. They're gluttons for punishment.
They kind of learned from their mistakes, and they rebounded professionally and with optimism and energy, and did a great job.
The proudest time I'm of any classes is they're about to graduate, because they've fully matured. Students, when they come in, are naive, youthful, you know, just out of high school, seem like kids. And then 3 years later, they've blossomed, they've matured, they become interesting, they're turning into young men and young women.
We're finally going to get rid of them. You know, they've been here, most of them, what, 7 or 8 years? They finally have gotten past the level of F and D in some of their classes, so we can now allow them to graduate. So I'm happy for them. I'm proud for them. They've got their act together. They're finally going to get out there. You know,
they have gone from the classic freshmen to true seniors who are ready to graduate and go do things that will make us proud, that will surprise us, that in some cases will terrify us, and stuff we never would have thought of.
They're going to be very successful.
At the end of the day, I would challenge them and encourage them to make sure that they're using their gifts to invest in the life of the world to come.
It's not what you know, but it's who you know. And remember that when you get to Hollywood. But that should fill you with confidence, because who do you know? You know me, you know Chris Riley, you know Nathan Scoggin. So
whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as unto the Lord. There's a quote that I'm going to butcher, so I'm not going to reference who said it or even what the quote was. I'll just say what the quote reminded me of. But the gist of this thing is that the world needs people who are fully alive.
Well, my advice for this class also follows from their great gifts, and that is, as Chesterton once said, a man is often undone on the side of his strengths. And I think for this class, the challenge will be always recognizing that these gifts and talents exist to impact culture for Christ in the mission and life of the church.
No excuses. No excuses. No excuses. Don't give excuses as to why you can't do something. Just go do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. No excuses. Do it.
It will be tempting to measure their success based off merely kind of what is often called worldly standards.
I want to wish you all luck. Good luck with your careers. I know you'll do great. Don't forget us. Come back and visit.
I don't know, good luck. No, I shouldn't say that. Like, luck is kind of like a pagan concept. How does Aristotle define luck? What's the difference between luck and chance? Right now, I'm quizzing you. I want you to say it right now at this dinner, if this ends up in the video. What's the difference between luck and chance? Let me call somebody out. All right. Madeline Perez, stand up right now and tell me the difference between luck and chance according to Aristotle's physics. Now. And then I want, let's see. Kathleen Wilder. What is Aristotle's definition of motion? Right now. Stand up right now and say it. Incorrect.
The day you get your diploma and you walk out of here, we have a different relationship. We're peer-to-peer. I'm no longer the person who's barking at you and telling you do this and don't do that. The day you graduate, we become peers. You're my equal, and I look forward to those relationships and those conversations. And I hope over time we continue to build a relationship of peer-to-peer people who love Jesus, people who have a mission of telling other people about Jesus.
I'll never forget meeting an executive for the first time, and he had a great reputation, and he was well respected. And then I found out that he was a Christian. And it was almost like, it wasn't totally a bonus, but it was kind of a bonus. But for me, that kind of unlocked why this guy was so good at his job, was because he loved Jesus, and his love for Jesus impacted the quality of everything that he did. And so regardless of whether people agreed with his faith, they said, that's a good man. And I think that's kind of what impacting culture for Christ is working as hard as we can to be as best as we can, so that when people find out that we are Christians, they go, of course.
I think a good way of looking at it is leaving a person or a situation or an opportunity in a better light, in a better situation, as a better person than when you first encountered them.
Christ is the guy who made you. He's given you everything that you have. Your whole life should aspire to being with Christ. So don't let impact culture for Christ become meaningless. Make sure Christ stays front and center in your life. If it does, you gain everything, and if you don't, you lose everything.
To me, it means just simply being a good example out there. You're going to be looked upon as leaders. I believe you're going to do a great job. That is the best way you can impact culture for Christ. Just being a good example, and have the others, your peers, draw that conclusion.
I would say impacting culture for Christ means to do everything that you do in a thoroughly Christian way. That Jesus of Nazareth, alive and risen from the dead, is the one who animates the action, and that it's through his Spirit that each member of his body is empowered to transform whatever they do to testify to his redemption.
You're welcome. That's our gift to this graduating class. And their gift to us is everything that comes next.
What do I believe? Believe the song that they should be the theme song should be Believe. I mean, shouldn't be anything from U2. That's those guys are kind of old, and
it's not one of their well-known songs, but it's I would dedicate the song to this class. I would dedicate 4th of July to this class. Here's how it goes. Ready?
Let me look up pop songs from the 90s.
But it's got to be one that would be funny for them. That's the challenge, because I'll date myself, you know.
It's an instrumental. That's how it goes.
Not Spice Girls.
So, I guess my song for this class would be Stayin' Alive by the Bee Gees. Yeah, that sounds like a rock solid choice.
LL Cool J, Mama Said Knock You Out. I want you guys to go out there and knock out the world. Impact culture. Are you laughing? You're laughing at me. I'm serious. Go out there, and your mama, Mother Mary, symbol of the church, says, go and knock out the world.
Takes a second to say goodbye, oh, oh, oh.
Scoggins sang, I'm not going to compete with that.
You want me to do Stayin' Alive? All right, I'll do Stayin' Alive.
Oh, takes a second to say goodbye, oh, 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 say bye-bye. Where you going tonight? Seconds, 1983 war. You're welcome.
Stayin' alive, oh, 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 stayin' alive. Good? No?
Hello, hello, we're at a place called Vertigo. It's everything I wish I didn't know, but you give me something I can feel.
We are the champions, my friend. We'll keep on fighting till the end.
Feel.
We are the champions. We are the champions. The winners, the losers. We are the champions of the world.
Boom.
Boom.
Drop the mic. I Kanye'd it. I just Kanye'd it.
Okay, good. That's over.